Most people think disease starts suddenly. One day you feel fine, and the next day a diagnosis appears. But in reality, many illnesses begin quietly, long before symptoms show up. One of the biggest hidden triggers behind this slow damage is chronic inflammation. Inflammation itself is not bad. In fact, it's a natural defense. When you get a cut or an infection, inflammation helps your body heal. The problem begins when inflammation doesn't turn off. Instead of protecting you, it stays active in the background, slowly damaging tissues and organs. This type of long-term inflammation is called chronic inflammation, and most people don't even know they have it. You may feel tired, bloated, achy, foggy, or just not yourself, but you can't point to a clear reason. These are often the earliest warning signs. Chronic inflammation is linked to heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, digestive problems, autoimmune conditions, skin issues, and even depression. It quietly weakens your immune system and disrupts hormone balance, making your body more vulnerable over time. One major cause is modern lifestyle, highly processed foods, excess sugar, unhealthy oils, and chemical additives trigger inflammatory responses in the body. When these foods become daily habits, inflammation becomes constant. Stress is another powerful trigger. Ongoing mental and emotional stress keeps stress hormones high, which pushes the immune system into overdrive. Over time, this creates low-grade inflammation throughout the body, even if you look healthy on the outside. Poor sleep also fuels inflammation. When your body doesn't get enough deep sleep, it can't repair damaged cells or regulate immune activity. This leads to a buildup of inflammatory markers in the blood. Digestive health plays a huge role too. When the gut lining becomes weak, tiny particles from food and bacteria can leak into the bloodstream. This condition, often called increased gut permeability, triggers an immune response and spreads inflammation throughout the body. Lack of physical movement is another silent contributor. When the body stays inactive, circulation slows and inflammatory chemicals build up in tissues. Gentle, regular movement helps flush these out and keeps inflammation in check. The most dangerous part of chronic inflammation is that it feels normal at first. You adapt to the discomfort, the fatigue, the stiffness. But inside, damage is slowly building. Inflammation is not a disease, it's a signal. Your body is telling you that something in your daily life needs attention. Chronic inflammation rarely announces itself loudly. Instead, it whispers through small, everyday symptoms that most people ignore or normalize. Learning to recognize these signs early can make a powerful difference in long-term health. One of the most common signs is constant fatigue. Not the kind that goes away with rest, but a deep, lingering tiredness that follows you throughout the day. Inflammation uses a lot of energy because the immune system stays active, leaving less energy for normal body functions. Another sign is frequent body pain or stiffness, especially in the morning. But aching joints, sore muscles, or a stiff back that takes time to loosen up are often linked to inflammatory processes in the tissues. Many people assume this is just aging, but inflammation is usually the real cause. Digestive problems are another major clue. Bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, or acidity can all point to inflammation in the gut. Since the gut plays a central role in immune regulation, inflammation here often spreads to other parts of the body. Skin issues also reflect internal inflammation. Acne, eczema, psoriasis, redness, or dull skin may be external signs of an inflamed system. The skin is an organ of detoxification, and when inflammation builds inside, it often shows up on the surface. Brain-related symptoms are increasingly linked to inflammation as well. Brain fog, poor concentration, low mood, anxiety, or irritability can be signs that inflammatory chemicals are affecting the nervous system. Many people don't realize that inflammation can influence mental health. Another hidden sign is frequent infections or slow recovery. When the immune system is constantly busy managing inflammation, it becomes less effective at fighting real threats. This leads to repeated colds, longer healing times, and increased susceptibility to illness. Weight gain, especially around the belly, is also associated with inflammation. Inflamed fat tissue releases chemicals that worsen inflammation even further, creating a cycle that becomes difficult to break. Sleep disturbances can both cause and result from inflammation. Inflammatory markers disrupt sleep quality, while poor sleep increases inflammation. This cycle often goes unnoticed until exhaustion becomes severe. Even cravings can be a sign. Strong cravings for sugar or processed foods may indicate inflammation-related blood sugar instability and gut imbalance. The danger is not just the symptoms themselves, but how long they are ignored. Chronic inflammation slowly damages blood vessels, organs, and cells, setting the stage for serious diseases later in life. The powerful truth about inflammation is that it is not permanent. Your body has an incredible ability to calm inflammation when you create the right internal environment. The goal is not to fight your body, but to support it. The first step is anti-inflammatory eating. Focus on whole, natural foods that calm the immune system instead of triggering it. Fresh vegetables, fruits, leafy greens, nuts, seeds, olive oil, turmeric, ginger, and fatty fish help reduce inflammatory chemicals in the body. At the same time, reducing sugar, refined flour, deep-fried foods, and processed snacks can dramatically lower inflammation. Hydration plays a bigger role than most people realize. Water helps flush inflammatory waste products and supports circulation. When the body is dehydrated, inflammation increases. Drinking enough water throughout the day supports every healing process. Sleep is one of the strongest anti-inflammatory tools. Deep sleep allows the immune system to reset and repair damaged tissues. Even 1 week of better sleep can reduce inflammation markers in the body. Creating a calm bedtime routine and protecting sleep time is essential. Stress management is equally important. Chronic stress keeps inflammation alive. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, prayer, journaling, or spending time in nature can lower stress hormones and reduce inflammatory activity. Even a few minutes daily can make a difference. Regular movement is another powerful solution. Gentle exercise improves circulation and helps remove inflammatory chemicals from tissues. Walking, stretching, yoga, or light strength training can reduce inflammation without stressing the body. Gut health must be supported, including fiber-rich foods and natural probiotics, helps strengthen the gut lining and regulate immune responses. A healthy gut prevents inflammatory triggers from entering the bloodstream. Sunlight and vitamin D also play a role. Vitamin D helps regulate immune activity and reduce inflammation. Safe sun exposure or supplementation when needed can support this balance. Finally, consistency matters more than perfection. You don't need to change everything at once. Small, daily habits practiced consistently can slowly calm inflammation and restore balance. Inflammation is not your enemy. It is a message. When you listen to that message and respond with care, your body naturally moves toward healing. Chronic inflammation docenti. Begin with a diagnosis. It begins with small imbalances that slowly build over time. The danger is not that inflammation exists, but that it often goes unnoticed and untreated. When ignored, it quietly lays the foundation for many serious diseases. The good news is that inflammation is highly responsive to lifestyle changes. What you eat, how you sleep, how you move, and how you manage stress all send signals to your immune system. When those signals become supportive instead of stressful, your body naturally shifts toward healing. You don't need extreme diets or complicated treatments. Awareness, consistency, and simple daily choices are enough to calm inflammation and protect your long-term health. When you take care of inflammation today, you're investing in a healthier, stronger future for your body.